Hello and welcome to this video. I don't predominantly do Final Cut Pro or editing videos and so on. For anyone out there that's wanting to know how I do this, then I thought this would be a interesting thing. So I've just finished filming another video, which I'm guessing will be on the video before this, all right, in the playlist, because I was just going to add this to the playlist anyway. And I've just finished filming this one here, and I've used OBS to film with it as well. All right, and this is obviously filming with OBS right now, and this is then the file here. Whoops. Oh, this is the file that it will be added to, and I basically save all of my data. As you can see here, this is then I've got a 1 TB SSD here, and so um, OBS will record it to here, so it's fast. So I don't record anything to my actual Mac Mini. All right, I record it all to this SSD, and then I've got a Synology machine which has another hard drive, and I save everything onto Synology after that. So this is just like a working directory, and once I'm done, I then um, move the files over to Synology, and I place them all in a chronological order, like year, month, day, and so on. I like the names to be vid or img, and then I like to have the year, month, date, underscore, and then hour, minute, and second after that too, so I can always find it. I then come into Final Cut Pro, and I like to then take the place where the actual image is stored, and I just import it into Final Cut Pro from here. Now I like doing it this way because it means that there's always one place where all of the images are located down here in this main 4 TB. And if I need to do lots of, like say, speed ramps or something like that, or editing on these one files, this is where I then transcode the media. Now, this transcoding of the media, I then have another SSD. This is then a 2 TB. These are SanDisk Extreme Pro system information USB. It's this one here. There's the first one, two. So SanDisk here. Yes, it's super fast read and write file system or file. So I really like that because it means that when I take the information off, like my drone or something like that, then I just move it to there, because here I can get like 750 megabytes per second transfer speed, I think, and 5 gigabits is 750 approximately. And off the SD card, you can get like maybe 220 mbits per second, megabytes per second. Sorry, you get like that 220. So to transfer, I get the full 220 to transfer it to the SSDs, and then when I work through Final Cut Pro, I get then the full speed on the SSD too, which probably is going to get the 1050 megabytes per second. I don't, yeah, maybe, but it's pretty fast with my Mac Mini M2 Pro and so on. It's super quick. Anyway, I mean, it could be a lot faster, but it's super quick. So I come onto here, and I take the video, and like I said, I will transcode the media if required. This is not being optimized. There's no proxy for it either. I then come to it, and I will then make another video. So this video was about um, loading the list.json file using JavaScript. All right, and it was shot with, I always use 25 frames per second because it's just easier, to be honest with you. And I can see here that it's, I've just pointed, you can't see my finger. Custom, see here it's 2560, 1440, 25 frames per second. This is how I do it, and I press OK. So now we have this one video here. And what I like to do from here is then come over to the sounds, and I let it analyze the audio here. And once that's done, I then like to come here. I just think bass boost is a lot nicer, and I do then noise removal too. Um, and what irritated me for a little bit was that all these settings were gone one day, and I was like, "Where are they gone?" And then I realised, because I'm not like a Final Cut Pro master, I just use it to make my videos. And yes, I didn't realise you just press show here, and there's all the other additional items here. So once I've done that, I then just scroll through and find then the beginning of the video. Okay, so I've now added some, and we go here. So I think this might be the beginning of the video. I just come here, and then with then Command B, we can cut, and then just A, we can cut that away. Okay, so I've now, and then I'll just use H to move it down here, and then I'll just cut out the beginning of this there like that. I like the beginning of the video to be straight to the point. Now added some implementation to basically load the images nice and simply in the HTML page. And I thought I would just implement it first and then go through. There we go. So I just go through and I listen to this. In just a second. All right. And you can see me here. Look, I'm showing you that full transparency here. Look, I'm going to cut this out because I was like, is that actually correct? And because this is like old school, you know, I've been programming JavaScript like 15 years ago and so on. So I'm used to doing this, you know, script, source this, type text, JavaScript. And I was like, is this the way you actually do it? So I said to, is it the way? And he went, yeah, it actually is, but you don't have to do it anymore because most browsers do this for you anyway. So we just come here and I just have a look at this and I go, so let's play seconds. All right. So what we're doing, and then I just come here and I just make it look like it never happened. We'll look at in just a second. All right. What we're doing, yes, which we'll look at in just a second. And then I come here and I cut this out like that. And then in just a second, what we're doing, we are loading this gallery.js, and then it looks seamless, like it was never there. And I come forward and I just look at like spaces in the text first of all, spaces where I made the mistakes, and I pretty much know where I made any mistakes anyway. And so I'm assuming that let's just say that I'm done now with all of this. I then come here and I do this one here, and then I go on the settings and I keep it on H.264 single pass faster. And then if I want it to be this definition, I change it. But this video, I don't really care what resolution it is. I'm just going to do full HD, and that'll be fine. Then I do next, and I kind of ignore this number here because it's never that number. It's like a smaller number anyway, and so on. And then I save it onto my SSD. So this writes straight onto the SSD, and I then back it up as well. So I literally back it up then straight onto my other Synology. So it means it's already backed up, and I have about another whole bunch of things using that. And I use GoodSync actually. Whoops, I use GoodSync to back all these things up. And you can see these are all my hard drives. This is then one of the 4 terabyte hard drive on my Synology. I've got a 3 terabyte hard drive on the Synology, and I've got another 4 terabyte one here. I've got a 5 terabyte hard drive attached to the Synology here too. These are the two. This is then the 2 terabyte one I've got. This is what I work with Final Cut Pro. So this one here is solely Final Cut Pro that I use. And then this is an old 2 terabyte hard drive where I just put anything on there as like if do I think I need it? I just put it on there, and then I've got another Western Digital 8 terabyte hard drive attached to my MacBook, which is unmounted right now because it's super slow, super annoying. And when I open Final Cut Pro, there's a link to something and something. Anyway, it just decides to keep spinning and working. So this is like, I, when I'm ready to back stuff up, I put everything on there. And then this is like the kind of one that if I just suddenly had to leave the house quickly, this is the thing that I would just chuck in my bag, this one here. And so I kind of update it, every couple of days or something, and so on. But what I do tend to do is have, like on the network, for example, this is my Synology, and then these are all of then the network shares that I've got on there, and I have this main 4 terabyte here, actually. Added, let me just check, yes. Added to be attached on login as well. So it means that it's got all of the credentials for it in the keychain. So this is how I always know that this is then attached. And I actually written a program to compare files on the 4 tera on another server to this one server. And this is where I'm not going to click it because there's about 35,000 files in there. And this is where all of the checksums are stored. So it compares whether or not it has that checksum file already. So this is basically what I do to be able to edit the files and so on. I love Final Cut Pro, to be honest with you. I think it's brilliant, and I tend to use like the galleries here, and I've used lots of other, like you can see here, like I've got all my Avata 2 footage. I've got like Docker videos, which was the one before. So I tend to keep all of my files inside of libraries, of Final Cut Pro libraries, and I close them when required and I open them. However, what's an interesting point is that if you come and have a look in the options and the filters for this, yeah, I've added exclude here, like analyze files, Final Cut optimize media, render file, transcoding media, because these things that you just don't want to back up, and they'll be huge. I mean, if you've got like a 5 gigabyte drone video in 4K, 60 frames per second, whatever, and you want to add speed ramps or whatever stuff on it, and then having it rendered, that 5 gigabyte, I'm just making numbers up, could turn into like 40 gigabytes or 25 gigabytes. And so this is why I've got the other Final Cut Pro 2 terabyte hard drive or SSD, so I can do, I not care basically, I can just delete stuff off of it. The biggest problem I had was actually I had I started with the SSD 1 terabyte, and I filled it up so quickly that it was a bit stupid. And you see here, I had like screen recordings here, photography, media, documents, all of my stuff that's on there, like all the videos that I created, and it's got 173 gigabytes available right now. But I filled it up, and I was like, I don't want to delete it, I don't want to delete it. But that's when I started properly organizing all of my hard drives on the network to make sure that I've got at least, like, say, 3 copies of everything all the time. And if one goes down, at least I've got another one. And don't do RAID. Okay. I'm just literally, I use GoodSync to do it manually. I don't want to start adding another level of complexity to it. Whereas I know that when I create a screen recording, I use either GoodSync or I just copy it over immediately. Once I've done it, I find the 2 folders, and then I just copy it over really quickly from there. If not, then over time I just go through all of these and make sure that all of these are backed up and so on. So as long as they've all got green ticks on it, I'm happy that everything has been backed up on all of the servers. And yeah, it's important to back up all of your data all the time, in my personal opinion. With that said, this is my video process of making any videos and so on. When I do like my drone videos or stuff for Instagram or and so on, then I tend to yeah, I do all of the transcoding in the media because I want to see the footage in here exactly how it is, and I would tend to put like this on my other screen. You can't see my other screen right now, and then I press this button, so I've got then the live preview on this screen here, and so on. So yeah, with that said, I think this is enough. I don't know who's going to watch this video, but I just thought I would make it anyway. Maybe someone is interested in seeing what I do and how I do it, and so on. With that said, if you did like this video, I'm not going to be making any more videos like this. If I do, then it's just spontaneous and I decide to do it, but it's not something I want to get into. I just thought I would show other people how I do it, and so on. All right. With that said, thank you very much for watching. If you did like the video, like it. If you want to see more content that I make, then feel free to subscribe. Remember, I make all different types of videos: programming, drone videos, talking about cryptocurrencies, talking about anything else. If I decide to make a video about something, I'll just make it because it's my video, my channel, and that's what I like to do. And if you're more than welcome to watch along. If you got any questions, feedback, concerns, critiques, criticisms, and so on, start a conversation in the comments section down below. And I'm always happy to listen to your opinion. And I will give you a truthful answer if I don't like your opinion too. So stand by. Or if you say a nice thing, I will always come back and say a nice thing too, because that's the type of person I am. Thank you. Ciao, ciao. See you in the next video. Bye bye.